Hello and welcome to another episode of Castle Smashers. I'm joined here with Dan.
Hey!
And Peter.
How's it going?
Today we're going to be looking at Clock Tower for the SNES.
We're not playing Chrono Trigger?
No.
Yeah, this screen looks so much like the opening screen to Chrono Trigger, except for the word Clock Tower appearing.
Yeah, we're playing Clock Tower.
Well, I'm playing Clock Tower, and apparently these two will be laughing at me. Or something,
we'll
something
see.
along those lines.
So,
What the hell is the company? Human.
Yeah.
Humane.
I've never heard of them. They go defunct like a decade ago or something.
I thought this was done by Konami, actually. I think.
Ending list. Oh, it's one of those sort of games.
Yeah, multiple endings.
Cool.
So
Ooh,
this is a horror game.
Mono-oral.
This is a horror game. It's like a mixture between like a point-and-click adventure, side-scroller, suspense. It's got it all.
I do like myself some point-and-click adventures sometimes. Or, the choose-your-own-adventure style game.
Adopted Daughters.
Yeah.
It happened in September.
Sounds like a lead-up to like a bad...
Dun dun dun!
They actually did pretty well with the sound engineering, I reckon, this game.
Well, considering the sound chips in the SNES were pretty basic. That said, MIDI stuff did actually hit its peak around the time of the 16-bit generation. Have you ever heard of a band called Machinae Supremacy? They use a Sega Mega Drive sound chip to do sound effects in their music. They're otherwise a metal band, so I think they call it Sid Metal.
Okay.
Interesting stuff.
And Michael Jackson said that the chip was no good.
Oh, did he?
For Sonic 3. I actually think the Sega Mega Drive sound chip's pretty underrated.
No, it's meant to be like the best sort of MIDI sound chip to the point where they're still manufacturing it now.
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually look it up on Wikipedia. It's got a surprisingly rich history.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the story here.
Nah, neither was I really. I was looking at the graphics and go, wow, these are like really detailed backgrounds and things.
I think
there's
like
basically
a house or something, have they?
Basically, they've been adopted by
by
this family, and they've come in to check the house.
Gotta go get Mr. Barrows. Because the first letter of every sentence is like a larger font, which is a really old novel thing to do.
Yeah. So they're in the foyer of this this mansion.
Yeah, it's still a cutscene. I can't actually do anything yet.
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh. Okay. Wait. Aha. What do I press? Aha, that button.
There you go.
I think you can hold the button to make it run as well.
Yeah, I think it's the L and R buttons. I think one of those gets it to run. But obviously you can't run during conversation.
I'm looking through the games that Human Entertainment has done. Nothing really sparks anything that I know.
Well, Clock Tower itself is like a horror series now. I mean,
is it really? It's a series now.
It ended up moving to PlayStation.
Yeah, there's been numerous games adopted for the PlayStation and onwards, but I think this one is still the best.
Okay, well, so far there's like no background music, and it's really slow. And you said you can get her to run or something?
Maybe
so I think you click like a direction, and I think maybe tap L or R.
I see. L makes her walk left. R makes her walk right. Double tapping does nothing.
Right.
Y is what is used to click on people for the most part. A and B don't seem to do anything yet. I don't think I spoke to this person at all yet.
Or it could be that you can't run yet because...
You gotta unlock it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think...
Not so much unlock,
It's
but
like your adrenaline goes up when all the action starts happening. I think.
Have you ever played the game DLC Quest?
No?
No.
Oh, so good.
Mrs. Mary?
So is that like you unlock sort of basic abilities as you
In
play?
the game, you pick up coins, which you then buy DLC for the game. And one of the first DLCs you get is actual walking animation,
Right.
and then the ability to walk left.
Okay. That kind of reminds me of the tutorial for Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
I haven't actually played that yet. No spoilers. I got it during the recent Steam sales.
Okay.
Can't wait to check that out. But I'm still spending all of my time on...
Ooh, a
So
screen.
something happened.
Ooh, in the main hall. Quick,
Quick, you walk
calmly
back.
Yeah. Quickly, walk slowly back to the room.
So everybody's gone.
Oh no. Are they behind the curtains?
Yeah, are they hiding from you?
Maybe. Oh, I can
There
run
we go,
now.
There we go.
So this game pulls off like really great atmosphere, I think.
You sure?
Yeah.
It's locked. I can't go up there.
So now you're pretty much left to your own devices to explore the mansion.
Yeah, right. How do I go up the stairs? Whoa, what was that? What? How am I doing these things? I don't know.
I don't think you should press that button. You go in that door.
No, what was that doing?
Before you go any further, I should say that in the bottom left-hand corner, that's like your status screen.
Yeah, I'm assuming her face gets like more and more horrified.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dark outside.
So I think blue's like normal, and then I think it goes from yellow to red, or
Okay.
she gets more terrified.
The colour of the background where her face is shown changes to represent her current fear level.
Yeah.
Blue means she's in a calm state. Yellow means she's startled.
Go through the door.
Startled, yeah.
Startled. Orange
Unsettled.
meaning she's alarmed. And finally red where she will begin to panic.
Baby, when the lights go out, doo doo.
So is this a light switch?
Nope. Let's go through this door. Go faster.
Yeah, so basically interact with as many objects as you can find, really.
Yeah, obviously you gotta find the objects, and they. Do you have an inventory? Can you pick things up and keep them with you?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Have you played many point-and-click adventure games?
I haven't played a lot of the vintage ones, like old LucasArts stuff.
Like the Monkey Island
Yeah,
and
I played a bit of Monkey Island. I played a little bit of the Leisure Suit Larry games.
stuff?
I actually just got, because I'm a backer for Double Fine Adventure, so I just got the first part of that, which is, I think it's this week releasing on Steam and some other platforms, which is the first half of their point-and-click adventure. And the art style is amazing. I just let the bird out. He's saying, I'll kill you,
yeah.
in parrot speak. Bird, I will crush you if I can get the cursor over you and then click on you, but it won't let me, so... Alright, right, it's attacking me, so go for the door. You're going the wrong direction.
Run!
Bird is psychotic. Okay, so we're back in that hallway, so I just basically did a loopy-loop. There was stuff in here that I hadn't interacted with.
I think running, actually...
What was Blue again?
Blue's fine.
Blue's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
she's no longer freaked out. So with this painting, she doesn't like
Dot,
painting.
dot, dot.
Yeah.
She just doesn't feel like
Oh, the
speaking.
cursor is trying to snap to the painting, which is annoying. Because I want it to... Oh, okay, yeah, it will snap to objects, so I just gotta stop using the joystick and use the D-pad.
So the game, like Trent was saying, there's a... Red is like a panic mode. And in certain situations, she does enter a state of panic. And I think you have to mash A or B to interact with like a panic situation
Yeah.
to sort of get out of it. So I think depending on your status also influences the success that you have against like these sort of panic situations.
Yeah. I've only ever played one other game that had like a panic situation in it where you like lose control of your character avatar.
Yep.
And that was this absolutely deplorable, disgusting game which was hilariously funny for the same reasons, called Seven Sins.
Okay.
And it's literally basically just about a dude who goes around sleeping with everybody to get like whatever he wants. He's trying to work his way up the social ladder. It was this bizarre Western game. Like, it's not like a weird Japanese game at all, and it had a huge production value. So if you think along the lines of Playboy the Mansion, which was a Sims mod that got actually released.
Oh, so what's going on here?
Someone's taking a shower.
But sometimes if you are having trouble like persuading a shopkeeper to give you a discount on an item, you just lose your shit. Oh, there's a dead person.
That was... Who is it?
Ah! Oh my god. Laura!
That was her sister, yeah?
Giant scissors. Oh my god, there's like a gremlin
This is
thing.
one of my favourite
Bye!
horror villains in a game.
I am out of here.
Yeah, the Scissor Boy.
Yeah, like, go through the door, dumbass.
That's it.
Why are you not running?
Go!
Go, go. Dead end.
Oh, he died already.
But she wasn't like moving at all.
Yeah, that's
Hopefully we don't have to start from the start, which I think we do.
You pretty much have to master the controls.
I don't know, can you skip this?
I don't know. I'm trying, man. It doesn't want to let me. Nah! I give up.
Maybe, do you want to pass it along then?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go on.
Let's see how I got this.
Yeah. Don't make the same mistakes I made and go into the bathroom. Skip the bathroom. It's bad news.
There's plenty more of the mansion to explore.
Yeah, I think the game actually, it sort of evolves depending on like the order you explore rooms. There's different like situations.
Yeah, so the story changes depending on what you skip or
Yeah.
what order you do things in. It's interesting because in the West, horror games died out for a while, and then they're in the middle of like a big resurgence at the moment with so many horror games,
Lots of
especially
zombies
indie ones. No, not zombie games, but there's actually a huge number of horror games that are coming out of the indie scene at the moment.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good ones, and YouTube is covered in Let's Plays of them.
Bit of graphical issues going on here.
Oh yeah, look at that! It's actually like glitching.
Yeah, I think I heard a couple of them. I think Cry of Fear was named a lot.
Well, obviously, the first big one I heard of was Slender, the Search for the Seven Pages.
Slenderman.
But then there's like heaps now. I think there was something like Machine for Pigs, Amnesia: Dark Descent. That's the one.
Yeah.
Amnesia is huge. And there's a bunch of others, and I'm not remembering any of the titles right now because I've seen the Let's Plays of them, and I'm like, right, well, I'm never going to play these games because I'm not that big a fan of horror. But in Japan, horror games never sort of died out. They were still making them and releasing them. Like, when we did Bug Island, I was saying, the Wii actually has like a bunch of horror games.
Yeah.
Like a huge number.
Yeah, because it's got Fatal Frame,
Ju-On,
4.
Yeah, Ju-On: The Grudge. There was Cursed Mountain.
Calling.
Yeah, and
That was a
then
great one.
the biggest one was the one they released in 2010 after Nintendo bought the rights to the Fatal Frame series.
Yep.
So Nintendo actually bought the IP and then ported one of the old PlayStation games to the Wii. I think it was PlayStation 2 one. And it's called Project Zero here, but it's the Fatal Frame series.
Yep. So is that the original or number 2?
I think it's 2. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it's 2. It was the PS2 one rather than the really early one.
Because I know they also had 4 on the Wii, but that might have been Japan only.
See, I don't know. Like the Wii has so many games that are region limited. Like,
Yep.
like there's plenty of Japanese games that never come to the West, obviously. But there was also what's that game that Monolith Soft made that we really liked?
Xenoblade?
No, the other one.
Disaster?
Disaster Day of
Oh,
Crisis,
yeah,
which
yeah.
neto went to America.
We got to do
if
that
it
someday.
did, it was like years and years
You
later.
went in this door before, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you go in that door?
Yeah, exactly. It's like this game is really clunky.
I think it's scripted to have an event before you can actually go in.
Yeah, I think you have to talk to all 3 people before it lets you go in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can go in, and then it screams, and you run back out, and you can't go out the other side, so you just go back to the hallway. So it's like,
Well, Peter, you've played this game to completion, yeah?
Yeah, that was a while back. So, I mean, like we saw at the start, the game has multiple endings. So, depending on how you play the game, you know, there's different ways the game can end, and it's a very interesting ride. Like, it's something you need to sort of settle into, because it's a really entertaining game for its time.
what the hell is the Wonder Swan?
Wikipedia's
Wikipedia's got the list of platforms that this game has been released on, and it's got Super Famicom, which is the SNES, because it's called the Famicom, short for Family Computer, in Japan. Windows, PlayStation, and Wonder Swan.
Wonder Swan was by Namco Bandai, yeah?
Really?
I
Namco Bandai had their own console?
Yeah, it was like Final Fantasy on there as well.
Surely this was like back in the days when it was just Bandai. Yeah, it is. It's just Bandai between 1999 and 2003. And it kind of looks like a Game Boy.
Well, I don't know what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah, okay, so it's just, it actually says it's related to the Tamagotchis and Digimon Virtual Pet devices. So it's like an advanced version of one of those. Made to compete with the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Did you talk to all the people?
Yeah, I did. Locked. Ugh, great. And I can't run yet.
Well, apparently the developer for the Wonder Swan was Gunpei Yokoi, the
Ooh.
original developer of the game, Nintendo Game Boy.
Ah.
Gunpei Yokoi is one of those names that you'll hear a lot if you ever read up on Nintendo's exceedingly long history in video game development. He was instrumental in setting sort of Nintendo's opinion that making the consoles cheaply and then selling them for a lot is sort of the best way to go about it, which is that mentality is sort of biting him in the butt at the moment with the Wii U being underpowered to, you know, the current generation offerings, but also the Wii being sort of underpowered compared to the 360 and the PS3.
The music's starting up.
Yeah, looks like maybe you can advance now.
Yay! So Gunpei Yokoi invented the D-pad, which until like 2 years ago Nintendo actually owned a patent on that, which was why the PS3 controller and the 360 controllers don't have proper D-pads. They have like weird alterations,
Right.
so that they could get away with it. He was also, from memory, the guy who also basically created the idea of the Game & Watch by getting really cheap factory second LCD panels from Philips, who was making them for wristwatches, and then making the Game & Watch. And so they got, like, you know, the main component for those things really cheap off Philips, and they made a killing because they got so big in the market.
Alright, so we'll go upstairs now and see what's up there.
Yeah, we didn't go up there before.
Yeah,
I couldn't figure out how to
It's
get
like
up
the
there.
Raccoon City mansion.
How did you get up the stairs?
I interacted with it.
Oh, okay, you have to press
Yeah.
Y on a part of it.
Are you able to run up the stairs at all?
I don't think so, no.
Alright, so this is new territory.
Go, Jennifer, run.
Here we go.
I think you just ran her into a wall.
I think that's like a dead end.
You can't go that
I'll
way.
go.
the other
What's
way.
the other way? Yeah.
You can just press one button to run and she just constantly keeps running forward. Uh-oh.
Jump scare. See, her status has changed now. She's
getting a bit more
slightly
scared,
unsettled.
Ah,
So
I
this
see.
means I have to walk back down the stairs again.
This is
Yep.
why it says it's a Japanese game, even though it's not. It's been fan translated.
Oh, wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so it was never released outside of Japan. So what we're actually running, and yeah, in case you haven't figured it out from what I just said, we are actually running this off an emulator.
Yay.
Because you can only get it via a fan translation.
I think there was a remake for the PlayStation 1
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
as well.
So much of the plot and characters are inspired by Dario Argento's film Phenomena, and there's a remake titled Clock Tower: The First Fear, released in Japan in 1997 to PC and PlayStation.
So that's also a remake or an enhanced remake of this game.
Not the one.
Okay, so it's the same game, just remade.
Yeah, The First Fear.
Yeah. And I think there was like 2 or 3 other games after that.
Yeah. I think there was kind of like a hybrid Clock Tower 2 game, which I think might have also been on the PlayStation. And then 3, which is made by, I think it's handled, I'm not sure if it's handled by Human, but because I think it got turned into something else, but it plays a lot different.
She's starting to get a bit unsettled now.
Yeah, well the music's starting
Going to orange.
Does any of us own a PlayStation?
Yep.
You own a PlayStation 1? We should do some PlayStation 1 games. There was tons of good games on the PlayStation.
Oh, Scissor Boy again. He's coming through the...
So here we go. This time he's come from the the ceiling.
Oh, he just killed someone.
Quick, run to the door. Bye.
So in Dan's playthrough, we lost Laura, and now we've lost Anne.
Yeah, but I'm sure if you go to the bathroom, then Laura will still be in the bathroom and dead. Like he'll just be
maybe we should find out.
Yep.
Is
this the bathroom?
Go to the bathroom. Maybe you can try and escape this time.
So he didn't come through the door to get us. Here we go.
Nah, because I get the feeling that he doesn't chase you.
I think he just randomly comes up at some points.
Locked. Oh,
yeah. No!
Yeah, you locked the door, but he can't get in. Is this going to be one of those "Here's Johnny" scenes? No, he gives up. Yeah, right.
It is a little bit tense. I can't interact with that. I got a feeling that no one's going to be in there now.
Let's find out.
Because there's like no steam.
But if there is...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was going to say, if there is, you've locked the door, so you're not going to be able to escape.
So one other thing that I forgot to mention is with the status bar as well. I believe running tires herself out, and the heart rate, the increased heart rate from running also decreases her status.
Oh no, because I just want to run through everything.
Yeah, like I think what you can do is you can sort of stop to catch your breath, and it slowly like returns over time. But just for the sake of the playthrough, though, we'll just see how far we can get with what we've got. And
I think the first time you encounter that Scissor Boy, he's like random every time after that, like you see him.
Well, I believe it has to do with the order you explore the rooms. So the circumstances which he appears changes depending on what choices you make. But there's still like over the top of the whole game. There's still an ongoing plot, which is scripted to sort of butt in at certain events. Yeah. So it's still like the story still plays out the same way.
Ooh, so I've got perfume. That's in my inventory. How do I get to that?
I think this game sort of uses the items automatically, I think, when prompted.
Oh, so you can't actually see what you've got until you need to use it?
I believe so. It's been a while since I've played. So.
What about you, Peter? What other point-and-click games have you played?
I didn't play Leisure Suit Larry. My dad actually had a copy of Leisure Suit Larry, but I couldn't get into it.
He had it locked?
Security.
So it was locked, but I did play Monkey Island, which was great. Yeah, and I've played a few other obscure ones, but Monkey Island was the one I probably spent the most time with. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people played through Guybrush's Adventures. I had a friend in Highfield who was obsessed with the series.
Yeah.
I turned the light on.
Absolutely loved it. That makes things a little bit safer, right?
Yeah, but I've explored everything in here.
The TV looks like it's
TV's working now.
Are you able to do something there?
Let's have a look.
Maybe there will be scary images. Maybe he'll do the Freddy Krueger thing and come out of the screen.
The ring. Nah, it's broken.
It's broken.
Oh yeah, well that happens in the ring as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Comes out of the screen. You totally stole that.
So I'll get out of this room. I reckon I need to find some sort of key. Or can I go in here?
Let's see.
Is that a door?
Yeah.
Are you able
it's
to
a box.
interact? I think there was a box. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just controlling the cursor with the D-pad is sort of clunky, but I suppose it
Yeah.
does sort of try to click to anything that's interactable.
It's a little bit dark on screen as well.
See, horror games are always really dark. Do you remember in Bug Island where everything was just pitch black?
We could not see
And
anything.
even with the torch like turned on, you could only see like this tiny little area in front of yourself. It's like,
Oh, okay. I've never actually played that game.
It was the very first Let's Play we did, which was this like
Right.
It was a horror game for the Wii, which had a huge development budget and came out, and it was slammed by critics, and it was really average.
Okay.
And it wasn't as bad as you might expect, but it wasn't exactly great either. But I played it, and for a game called Bug Island, the first boss is a giant like ape thing.
Gorilla.
Yeah.
Right.
So after that, we were like, yeah, whatever, I'm done. And it had like the most hilariously stereotyped trope of characters as well.
Okay.
That all had like this one animation that they do constantly. So there's this like hillbilly guy with a gun, and he just like looks down the sights constantly.
So like hand waving or hands on the hips type stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so I picked up a rock just then.
You can throw it at the scissors guy. Let's go kill him.
Your character's in a panic. So she looks pretty startled.
Don't tell me I'm
She's
going to
like,
die as well.
I feel unwell.
I think the only real dark
that?
game that I can recall playing was probably Doom 3.
Oh yeah, Doom 3 though. I know Trent
Don't
really
bring that
loves
up
it.
with Dan, yeah.
Trent loves Doom 3. I was a huge fan of the early Doom, so for me,
Yeah.
Doom 3, while it scared the absolute balls off of me on more than one occasion, was a big disappointment because it was just a straight sort of corridor type game.
Yeah.
With cutscenes.
I did like the start of the game though, the way it sort of set the scene.
Definitely. I think that game would be much better liked if it wasn't called Doom. I think one of the issues is when you've got a franchise and you're making a sequel or an installment, people expect it to be pretty true to the ones that came before. And so it comes kind of hard to innovate within this frame that the developers locked to. But Doom 3 was such a departure from some of the older Dooms that I felt it probably would have been better if they just called it something else.
Well, it got rid of stuff like collecting keys and that, yeah?
Yeah.
It was pretty much
It
just
changed
straightforward.
up a lot of the sort of default Doom mechanics in favour of, pushing graphics, which was what ID was all about at the time, because they spent a huge amount of money making engines.
Didn't they say that they had like the best lighting engine ready for?
Well, even now, like ID Software spends a lot of money on developing engines with sort of new tricks and new technology. So the game they released, Rage, which was I think it was 2010, maybe 2011, used something called macro textures.
Right.
And that sort of worked and didn't work at the same time. So if you were playing it on like the 360 and you looked left and you looked right, you'd actually see geometry without textures, and then the textures would blink in as it was loaded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it didn't quite work on the technology of the time. It's something that would probably work really well on a PC or the new consoles, because they have 8 gig of RAM and the RAM is super quick. But, that's one of those things where it's happened to id Software multiple times where they've released something which was probably 2 years ahead of its time. What are those eyes at the window?
Yeah, you see that in the window? Glowing eyes.
Can I look at that?
Yeah, go check it out. There's something there. It'll be that scissors kid again, I reckon. He's going to
Jump out the window.
It's
It's
dark,
dark outside. Yes, we know it's dark outside. Ugh. Sorry for whoever's watching this.
So,
I've got no
I would
idea
have
what...
clicked away to something else already.
I've got no idea what I'm doing here.
So you've been in the bathroom, you've been in the bedroom.
Yep.
Keep going.
Have you done anything with the bird yet?
I have not done the thing with the bird yet.
What other rooms can you find?
Well, should I just keep going to the end?
Well, you're playing, you can do whatever you want, really.
Yeah, you do whatever you want.
I need a bit of guidance here. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, actually...
I can go in here now.
Yeah, because he's gone now. Cool. You can go up them stairs, maybe? Or you can go into that door, maybe?
I'm going to go up these stairs, because remember the top bit, caved in and I can't get
Yeah,
Get over
in the foyer room. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I might be able to get to that other section from here.
So this is one of those games where that you two recommend that a lot of people play as like a SNES gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this wouldn't be possible without fan translations. What do you guys think about fan translations and fan projects on some of these old games?
Well, seeing as though we love this game, then I think it's really good.
I think legalities aside, you know, I think it's great that people want to play these types of games.
I think the legalities are a pain in the butt, to be honest. Like, obviously, if somebody else is trying to make money off someone else's work, that's annoying. But things like Project M, which is the homebrew Smash Brothers mod, which adds a lot more content into the game if you've sort of been burnt out on the current roster and you're waiting for the new one still, because you know a new one only comes out every 5 years. I think it's great. And obviously fan translations of games that never come out.
Is that a light switch there?
It's like a door.
Storage room.
Everybody...
You're no interested.
So yeah, I mean, pretty much the first thing you go into a room is to see what items you can interact with, and
you just see whatever the cursor can
yeah, pretty much, and then you
clip to.
See what you can get out of it.
She's not really interested in anything.
Some broken
tableware. Isn't that that was a door. Is there anything else I can interact with?
Are you able to get behind there?
Yeah, it looks like there's something on the other side of these cupboards.
What's she doing?
My arms are too weak.
No
too
good.
High.
Alright, now try the box again.
Push the box.
Let's see.
Peter knows how to play.
So you have to interact with one thing.
Well,
she couldn't have figured out to push the box over to begin with.
Nah, too slow in the head.
You need to sort of flag the, you know.
It actually kind of looks like she's wearing one of those like Japanese school uniform kind of things, but maybe not.
She heard you.
It kind of reminds you like an old
the old seafood
English,
the
old English
Victorian,
type, Victorian.
Yeah,
a black robe,
blue dress, overalls type thing, and a bow. I think she's wearing a bow anyway.
All right, so I've got some clothes.
Ooh, maybe you can pretend to be a cultist and they'll leave you alone.
What else have we got here?
Still very dark.
Another box.
Another box.
Yeah, there's got to be a light switch or a power point somewhere. Not a power point, like a generator maybe.
Yeah, this house doesn't seem to have It's like Lemmings. She just walks on her own.
So is that a dead end there?
Yeah.
What's up there?
Lemmings. Now that's a great series of games. Some of those old Lemmings games.
Bird's Nest.
Is that where that other bird should be?
Who knows? What can you do anything with the box now?
Ah.
That you've seen the bird's nest?
Yeah, push it.
I'm like
before.
No. I am the worst with video game logic. She's gonna move the. Yeah.
There we go.
You should be playing this one.
He only knows what to do because he's played it before.
Now is she going to get up there and look at it yet?
So what's this?
Eggs and junk.
And junk.
She's not going to pick them up? Oh, come on. She moves that box for nothing.
This game is not even really interesting to watch because it's so slow paced. I suppose to play it in single player, like if you're in like a dark room by yourself, it'd probably be quite nice. But
yeah, well, I mean, it's a horror game, and that's sort of what it excels at, really.
Yeah, you're not supposed to play them with multiple people in the room, unless of course everybody's completely hammered. Because I did see a video of like a bunch of football jocks playing Amnesia, and they're all wasted, and it's so funny.
Was that like a once-off thing, or is that like a series?
I don't know if they did multiple because I don't spend a whole lot of time on YouTube. It was just something that I saw on a news website because somebody else thought it was funny, and so I clicked on it and I thought it was funny, and then paid it no more attention.
Well, I think this
They always
does
say, you know, like, subscribe, check out my other videos at the end of the video. I never do that. I don't even bother saying that at the end of these videos.
This does an alright job at building suspense for a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah, I mean, you need the right atmosphere for it, but I think within the right atmosphere, it does it really well.
Well, you know, horror games are sort of served by having limited graphics, I think. Because imagination is the most powerful tool.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. So, you know, I think that may be why horror games sort of died off a little bit for a while, is because realism in video games is counterintuitive to horror.
Yeah.
Sort of
horror is all about your nightmares, which never make any sense.
Yeah.
It sort of reminds me of like old movies. I find that like 80s horror movies are a bit more effective because they don't need to rely on all those digital effects.
Yeah, like the old Nightmare on Elm Street movies and Friday the 13th and all that are all really nice. And Japanese horror movies that are more recent, like The Ring and The Grudge, not the American remakes, the original Japanese, they feel like old 80s horror movies because they're so low budget.
I think this is the last door I can actually go in.
Well, I mean, even if you look at, you know, the medium itself, I mean, Resident Evil itself, I mean, that's a popular horror series, and I think over time as the series gone on, like, because of the, you know, the technicalities and all the graphics and the realism, you know, that it's tried to become more realistic.
Of an action game. I thought Resident Evil Revelations was really good. I haven't played any of the newer Resident Evils because it's too actiony for me. If I'm going to play a horror game, then I'll play, if I was going to play an action game, I'll play an action game. If I'm going to play a horror game, I'll get an actual horror game. And Resident Evil, the newer ones, sort of sit somewhere in the middle where it's neither here nor there.
Well, I got some ham. Picked up some ham.
Yeah, because I stand by like the early Resident Evil games, like Resident Evil 1, 2, Remake.
Yeah, I played 1 and 2 and I really enjoyed them. I actually couldn't stand Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition. I'd love to go back and play the GameCube version.
Yeah.
But the Wii U edition has like motion controls and QuickTime events annoy the crap out of me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it. I mean, that's action game, you know.
Yeah.
I think the older Resident Evils do well because they have, you know, what people label tank controls. You know, they restrict the player in such a way that I think in terms of the atmosphere it makes the player more vulnerable, like more human.
Yeah, I played some Fragile Dreams with Rachel for another Let's Play which hasn't gone up yet. And that's a really lovely atmospheric type game where you play like the last person alive in a world that's sort of been destroyed.
I've played it, so it's pretty fun.
And I was actually really getting into it just watching her play it because the atmosphere was done really well.
Yeah, it really takes you in.
And there's nothing even remotely realistic about that game. Because there's like ghost things everywhere and spirits and whatnot.
So where are you here now, Tram?
It's like some sort of
barn.
Side barn.
It's
the garage, yeah.
That car.
This scissor guy is going to come out of the car or something. You
just expect him to come out everywhere, don't you? Because that's like what you think.
Yeah, the game feeds upon that.
Yeah, and that's it. It's like, you know, 9 times out of 10, he's not going to jump out of the thing that you expect him to jump out at, and then all of a sudden he will.
Alright.
So the keys aren't inside. Can you interact with anything else there?
The ladder.
I can go up the ladder.
Go sleep in the hay.
I just want to find those keys. Get out of here.
Yeah, because you're like 14. You can totally drive
it's a sane thought process, you know.
I hope she doesn't fall.
So, that said, like, Amnesia does a really good job of horror where you're in like an insane asylum and you use a camera to light your way and look around a lot of the time.
That kind of reminds me of the Fatal Frame.
Yeah. No, look, I look at the videos for Amnesia and I go, my God, could they be ripping off Fatal Frame any more than they are? But people still love it and nobody cares.
Fair enough.
I mean, the Fatal Frame is weird as well because it's got like these two cute little Japanese girls as the main characters, and there's all these horrible things happening to them.
Yeah, because with Fatal Frame 4, they switch it up. I think you have, it's either 2 or 3 different characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and one of them's a male, so...
Yeah, so they have a male character for once. Because for some reason you got to have 2 cute little girls to get scared.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the trope, isn't it, though?
Yeah.
I mean,
like
here we are playing Clock Tower, you know, the main character's a girl, so...
I feel like I've been in like every door I can. I need to find some sort of key or...
So believe it or not, point-and-click adventure games are not as uncommon as some people would lead you to believe when the Double Fine Adventure Kickstarter came up and they were all like, publishers don't want to do point-and-click adventure games anymore. You go to EB Games and in like the $10 crappy PC game section, you'll find 400 billion point-and-click adventure games, and most of them are actually new. They come out all the time, but they come out with like zero marketing from a couple of small companies that just do a lot of them. But they go straight to like the shelf with a $15 or $10 price tag.
Actually, I've seen a particular point-and-click adventure game pop up recently. I don't know if it's an old game or if it's a new game that's sort of been remade with an old style, but it's called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
Oh my goodness.
So
I seen a picture of a Pikmin with that text written over it, and I couldn't figure out whether it was a dig at Pikmin, but I guess it's a reference to that game.
Yeah, it's based off of a short story, but I'm not sure if it's an old game or if it's a new one, but it definitely plays on that style and it does it quite well.
So what are you guys thinking of this so far?
I'm thinking you're lost.
I'm completely lost. You guys probably don't know where I have to go.
I am not even really paying attention to the game
I
at this
am
point.
Starting to get sick of this, really.
Yeah.
I don't think you haven't been outside though.
How do you get outside? How do you even go
I
there?
think one of the doors in this hallway leads out there.
Yeah, I Have No
Better.
Mouth and I Must Scream is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi short story written by Harlan Ellison, first published in March 1967.
And was it the Darksiders? Was that? I forget. I think it's one of those.
Darksiders.
Yeah. Maybe not. It's Dark Siege.
I don't know about Dark Siege. Darksiders is not really a horror game.
No, that's a Star Wars game. I think it's...
No, it's not. Darksiders and Darksiders 2.
No, that's Dark Forces.
Yeah.
Who was that parrot?
That's that game where
before?
you're playing one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Right. I'm thinking of a
You
game...
play like Wrath or War or something in the first one, and you play Death in the second one.
The game, there was 2 games that I'm thinking of. I think it's Dark Siege, or it's called something like that. But it was the presentation and art was done by H.R. Geiger, who worked on the Alien franchise.
Oh,
Yeah, cool.
I'm dead.
So everything is a penis reference or a vagina reference?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few sort of references that you can sort of point out there, but it was really well illustrated.
Yeah, for those watching who don't know, the guy who designed the aliens in the Aliens movies, like specifically went out of their way to make everything look like a penis or a vagina. And the same can be said about the way things look in that new weird movie, Prometheus.
Prometheus,
Yeah, where the snake comes up out of the water and it's literally just like a vagina snake.
I think we've seen enough of Clock Tower for now.
Yeah, I'm done with it. So that game you're talking about was published in 1995. Is a point-and-click adventure game developed by the Dreamers Guild, another development company I've never heard of because they probably went defunct 2 years later or something.
So we have not unlocked any ending lists. Goes from A to H.
You were close to H. I'll tell you that.
Really?
Is that
Yeah.
the worst ending?
Yeah, if you get the keys to the car and
So
go
it's not a very long game then at all.
it is depending on what ending you get. Like the first 1 or 2 are relatively short in.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Trent was at the garage and he was looking at the car, and if he managed to find the keys for the car, he can actually get in and escape. But
Did you know where the keys were?
But as
You could have told me.
Does not answer.
I can't remember where the keys were. I think they were in the box near the car, but I'm not sure. But if you do get in the car and drive away, the scissor man pops out from behind the back seat.
Yes,
And you see everything happen from the perspective of the rearview mirror.
Oh, very cleverly framed there.
Yeah.
Would have been great to see that, but I guess things just don't work out as they should.
Yeah. So, this one, if you're interested in point-and-click adventure games and or horror games, you can pick this up as a fan translation download, which you need to run on an emulator.
I thought I was interested.
If you play it by yourself, it'll scare the pants off you.
Maybe. But then you could always just pick up, like, Amnesia, Machine for Pigs.
Play this for, like, Oculus Rift or something. Like,
why would you play this on an Oculus
just because
Rift?
it's, like, right close to your eyes.
But how would a side scroller work with Oculus Rift?
It'd just look like the 3D.
I don't know.
Like a little
Like a parallel.
This game has fried my brain.
Well, then I suppose we should probably wrap it up, and we'll see everybody next week for another Castle Crashes Smashes episode.
Smashes.
God, I love that game so much, and I keep getting our title with their title confused.
Alright, see you guys next week for Castle Smashes.
Yeah, that one, not the game. Maybe we should just do the game.